wearing braids all the time, you will see growth. You will see your hair get thicker, your hair get longer, more healthy. Protective styles are very much protective.
We're like diamonds in the sky. I knew that way, babe. Come one right away. Oh, right away. At first sight, I felt energy. I surrendered.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. On behalf of Brit, if you're new here, welcome. I'm Brittany, and today we are having Girl Talk. I do a series here called Life as a Braider. It's a Girl Talk series where I just discuss different tips that new braiders or people who wear a lot of protective styles can learn from. So today we'll be discussing a topic that's more so for people who wear a lot of protective styles, and I'm just pretty much going to tell you guys a lot of ways you can benefit from wearing braids. There's this whole argument where some people say that protective styles aren't that protective, but they really are. If you're aware of certain things and you master the art of being able to manipulate your hair when it comes to wearing braids, twists, when it comes to taking them out, treating your hair in between, getting these different styles, how often you should get these styles, what to do when the styles are in your head. If you practicing these things on a daily basis, wearing braids all the time, you will see growth. You will see your hair get thicker, your hair get longer, more healthy. Protective styles are very much protective. I don't know where people get the idea that they're not, but I'm just here to share some information with you guys. These are all just be gentle reminders. I've told y'all in videos in the past that I've never been to hair school, so this isn't any textbook real deal facts. This is all stuff that I have learned or witnessed in my clients' hair growth through experience. I'll be telling you some things that you may already know or may have already heard, but I want to confirm it based on what I've experienced and what I've seen to say, yes, if you do these things, you can experience hair growth. And if you continue to wear braids and be consistent with it and treat your hair, your own natural hair, properly in between these styles, it is some benefits that can come from that. And before jumping straight into the tips, it's just a handful of tips, maybe 5 or 6. I do want to acknowledge my absence to my subscribers who are actually, subscribed to my channel, and y'all come see about me every week, are watching my videos consistently. I felt like I had to explain a small life update. I told y'all at the top of the year I wanted to upload twice a week, and last week I did not post that out on Wednesday or Sunday, so I do want to apologize for that. But I had to get my wisdom teeth pulled. I still have some swelling in my face. Getting the teeth pulled itself wasn't a hassle. It's just been the recovery. I haven't wanted to get on camera, so there hasn't been any vlogs or any girl talks because I had to get comfortable with being in front of the camera again. My face is pretty much coming back down to normal. I don't think if I would have pointed it out, y'all would have been able to tell, but I had 2 teeth pulled on this side, and I'm recovering from that. So if I'm talking funny or anything like that, that's what that is, and that's where I've been, y'all. It just had to be done. So let's get straight into today's topic. One of the main things that I want to say to my viewers that wear a lot of protective styles, and this is something y'all may have already been told, but just try it out because you feel like your hair is strong, you have thicker hair, your hair can take it, and then you're wearing braids and realizing that your hair may not be growing. Please, please, please do not get braids after any major service. And when I say a major hair service, that means getting any dye, coloring, a perm, a silk press, putting heat on your hair, putting color on your hair, putting a relaxer on your hair, and then turning around and getting braids the same day or even 24 hours later is a big no-no. You do not want to put any type of protective style in your hair for at least a week or 2 before, after getting a serious service like that. You straight out the gate are setting yourself up for failure. It's a no-no. To me, it's very obvious. There is no way, in my opinion, no way you can benefit from getting your hair colored and getting braids in the same day. The only benefit would be my roots are blue and my braids are blue. It all matches. Other than that, when you take the braids out, you're not going to see any growth from that. It's just a no. Okay, so we're going to move over into the next thing. I'll put everything on the screen. No dye, no perm, no heat, and braids in the same day. Skip a couple weeks. Okay? The next thing you want to be mindful of is how soon you pull your hair up once getting your braids done. A lot of people like to get braids but may not want hair on their neck or hair in their face, and so immediately after I put their braids in, they want to ask for a ponytail or a bun, and the client is always right, so whatever the client wants, the client gets. But I always let my clients know before pinning up their braids or doing any type of style right after installing braids, I let them know it's tension on your edges. It's not a good idea. You want to wait at least 3 days before pulling your braids up. Give your scalp time to settle. When installing braids, I'm sure you're aware your stylist has to be fairly tight to get that grip, to get them to last, to get them to look neat. A lot of things go into installing braids from the root. So when it comes to knotless braids, of course, there's different rules when it comes to that. You can pull up your knotless braids right away. That's one of the one things I do love about knotless. But when it comes to traditional box braids, twists, soft locks, any type of other protective style, try to let the braids lose that initial stiffness where they're flowing a little bit better. You're able to turn your head to the side and do different things without it aching. When it's comfortable for you to move them around without that initial soreness or stiffness, then it's time to pull them up, and normally that takes about 3 days. Another big one that I like to tell my clients that they say they're going to do when they leave my chair but end up doing maybe the first day and not really doing much at all throughout the rest of the time, because I can tell when they come back for another service, is moisturizing their scalp before and during the protective style. While having braids in your hair, that's the best time to moisturize your hair because you can get to your scalp easier. Right now with the sew-in, I'm not able to get to my scalp, right? Other than this, middle part, it's not easy for me to oil my scalp unless, I'm gonna weigh the weave down with oil by going in between the tracks. But with braids, you can flip them around, do different things, and get in there real good. It's the best time to grease your hair and moisturize your hair. But also when you're taking a style out before your appointment, you want to moisturize your hair. Hot oil treatments, deep conditioners, whatever your favorite oils are, moisturize your hair. Taking the braids out, the day you take them out, when you wash them, if you're gonna let your hair, if you're gonna wear your natural hair for a couple days or go on to another style, just make sure you're keeping your hair moisturized the whole time the braids are in. I would say maybe once or twice a week, or your scalp while the braids are in, so not every single day. Get some oil. Hold on, y'all. This right here, these little things right here are $1 at the beauty supply store. They have different kinds. This is the vitamin E oil, but they have avocado oil, they have coconut oil, shea oil, olive oil, and you can just take this. It comes with a little spout thingy, and just go in between the rows of your braids. Just go in between and oil your scalp, like I said before. You get them done while they're in and after you take them out. A lot of people say my hair broke off and I took my braids out and my hair was breaking from the braid, or when I was combing the buildup, when I was taking the braids out, my hair was ripping. The main way to avoid breakage is just to oil your scalp, and it's so easy. It takes a few minutes and it feels good. Like when you do it, it feels so good. I don't know about y'all, but my hair loves moisture. It loves water and it loves oil. It'll soak any product up that I put in it. My hair be thirsty, y'all. So when I have braids in, I make sure I'm drenching it with my favorite oils. And when I take my braids out, a lot of times I don't experience a whole lot of breakage, okay? I am one of those people who I'm preaching to the choir, and I ain't really taking my own advice on a few of these other tips. When it comes to certain things, I personally don't see a lot of hair growth because I'm changing my hair up a lot. I'm styling my hair a lot. But when it comes to moisturizing my scalp, y'all, out of all the tips I'm gonna give y'all today, this is my holy grail. Like, I will oil my scalp. Now, I shared with y'all that I'm really good about moisturizing my scalp, but the next tip that I'm going to give y'all is one that I struggle with. My clients also struggle with. It could be a hassle trying to get in and out of a salon, so I can see why a lot of people avoid this step. But if you really want to see hair growth, it's important that in between protective styles, when you're shedding that dead hair and you're getting new growth and you're removing one style and installing another style, that you trim your ends in between the style. Not in between every single style, but at least twice a year you should be trimming your end. Your hair breaks, it grows, it splits, and as your hair is growing, as that new growth is coming in, the dead hair heads towards the bottom. Y'all already know. Keep your ends trimmed right before you get braids. It's the best time. You're about to put weave in it. You're about to have it put away for a while. It's gonna grow if you're treating it properly while the braids are in. Just go ahead and let go of that dead hair. Chop it off, sis. Get it braided. It'll grow back. Keep them ends trimmed. You will see results. I do not know what tip number we're on at this point, but the next one I want to say to you, the next tip I want to give you is to not manipulate your hair too often. Some people get braids my clients, they'll get their hair braided, then 2 weeks later they're coming to get a touch up, and then a week after that they want to take them out and get something else, and they're continuously changing their hair, and just popping one style out same day they got their appointment booked to get the next style in, not letting their hair breathe, not giving their hair a chance to be treated. I know if you just took your braids out this morning and you back in my chair, you ain't did no deep condition, you got it out just in time to come back to me, and that's not a good thing. Keeping your braids in too long can cause hair damage, and we'll talk about that, but also not keeping it in long enough or changing it too often. That's one of my biggest issues. I think I spoke on a few minutes ago. Knowing how to do hair, I change my hair a lot, and always having your hands in your hair is a bad thing. When it comes to braids, it's something that can last you for a couple months. Go ahead and keep them in a couple months. I know people like that crisp, new, fresh look, and it's okay to get a touch up here and there, but I just feel like when it comes to protective styles, the best way, my clients that have seen a lot of hair growth, they leave their hair alone. They come get their hair braided and they come back 2 months later, and a lot of times I'm able to see the difference, at least by an inch. I'm always able to see, girl, like a month ago you ain't had this extra inch right here. Like, your hair is gonna grow if you leave it alone as well. Don't manipulate your hair too often. If you're a person who just says, oh, well, I don't get frontals, I don't get sew-ins, I don't get ponytails, all I get is braids, even taking your braids in and out and combing through your hair and just constantly just having someone in your head can cause your hair to break off. I don't know why. That's just what it is. That's what I've noticed. And then I also mentioned to you guys, keeping your style in too long can also be an issue, and that's mainly for takedown. When you keep braids in past 3 to 4 months, your hair starts to lock in or grow attachment to the weave, and then it's harder for you to take it down. So I would say the max amount of time to keep a protective style in, what I tell my clients, is 6 weeks. That's a month and a half. So that's my ideal time. Some people go the whole 2 months. They'll go 8 weeks. 2 months can be good if you properly take your hair down. But if you're the type of person who likes to get it in and out, you chopping the braids wherever your hair stops and you ripping the braids out real quick, you one of those people, I would say 3 to 6 weeks, and then go ahead and take your hair down. You will be able to see differences in your hair and still be able to take the braids out smoothly without too much buildup or tangling. For those of you who are able to take the time to take your hair down, you give yourself a couple days after taking a protective style out. Those people who aren't booking appointments within the same day, and you want to keep your braids in for 2 months, that's still good. But I would just say, when it comes to taking them down, if you're going to change them after 2 months, is to, schedule out a whole day where you're able to actively take your time. There's nothing wrong with chopping them when your hair stops, but you want to take your time taking the braids out, removing the weave from your scalp, taking a comb, taking a rat tail, and breaking that buildup down bit by bit, slowly and carefully removing your hair from the braid. And like, after it being locked in for 2 months or close to 3 months, however long your ideal time is to keep braids in, your hair is going to need that extra TLC, because even though, like I say, you don't need to change it too much, if you don't show your hair enough attention and it's not seeing you enough, it's also going to act out. So you want to be able to take your time to remove the braids, have time to deep condition, wash it really good, oil it, whatever, before your next style. I would just say 6 weeks is perfect. If you want to know my opinion, I tell people a month and a half, and then remove your style. And that pretty much sums up all of my tips, y'all. It was a fairly simple video today. I just wanted to throw those things out there because I have noticed that when I'm talking to my clients and giving them different tips, they have been seeing different results. So I said, why not share it with you guys? So I'll review them with you, because I know at some points I kind of just rolled right into the next one. So I want to break down each tip so you know individually which ones you need to focus on. I'm going to run them back by y'all real quick. So let me look back down at my little notes. Okay, so you want to avoid getting braids immediately after any serious service, such as coloring, a relaxer, or a silk press, like any type of heat service. Avoid getting braids immediately after. Wait about 2 to 3 weeks. The next thing, you don't want to pull them up too soon. Same day is a no-no as far as styling your braids right after getting them put in. You want to wait about 2 to 3 days or till the stiffness loosens. You also want to moisturize your hair and your scalp in between and before getting a protective style. Just keep your hair oil and moisturized so that you can experience hair growth and your hair won't break off. You also want to trim your ends in between every style. You don't want to keep your braids in too long, so don't go past the 3-month mark so your hair won't lock in and grow attachment to the weave where it's hard to take them out. You also don't want to manipulate your hair too much and not keep them in long enough, so at least try to keep your braids in past a month. And then last but not least, have that allotted time. Schedule a day where you can take the time to remove your hair properly and give your hair that TLC that it needs after keeping your braids in over a month. So having time to comb out, build up, do a deep condition, wash your hair thoroughly, and oil your scalp. So those are all of my tips. So those were 6 very important tips. All of them were equally important. So if you're practicing 3 of them but not practicing the other 3, you're really not going to see any benefits. This is the way that you can get all of the benefits from protective styling, y'all. You got to practice all 6. I wear protective styles so often and I don't see hair growth because I may practice a few of the things, but a couple of them I struggle at. Practice all 6 of these things and you will see hair growth. My clients tell y'all. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you try these tips or if you have been trying them, if you've experienced any hair growth from protective styling. You can also leave me a comment down below suggesting anything that you want to hear me talk about in a future Girl Talk to come. I have another one planned probably later this week or early next week. It should be a little more fun. I'm going to talk to you guys about some things that I feel like you'll enjoy to hear about. This one, not to say it wasn't enjoyable, but it was more so just me throwing information out. And so that Girl Talk will be coming up soon. Stay tuned for that. Make sure your post bell notifications are on. If you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing. I love you guys and I will see you in the next video. Bye.